Good afternoon. Happy December 28th, 2021. And I finally have a garden update on getting in the new beds. I did purchase several new garden beds from Amazon during Black Friday. They had a lot of sales going on, and they were actually the most inexpensive I had ever seen them. So I went ahead and took the opportunity to do some upgrades to the garden. And I also did a big construction project on the garden. So I am not quite finished. I'll show you a few things that I'll be working on in the next month to get ready for spring. So this is not a total spring reveal, but we are getting there. So if you've seen the last garden tour that we did a few weeks back, you will know that I have been working very hard and very much in this garden to get us where we are right now. So I just want to kind of show you around the garden a little bit, and then we'll look at some of the newer beds. And this is the new, took out the gutters and redid this bed up front. All of that is the same. Just did some weeding and side dressing of some hen manure from my hen house on these broccolis, Romanesco broccolis, celery, onions, and green magic broccoli. And then over here, the peas are getting a little bit more productive and kind of getting a little higher on that trellis. I still need to trellis this one right here. And right there you will see the first bed. This is a galvanized 4x3 from Amazon. It cost $30 with free shipping. And I believe there was some kind of coupon, $5 off, 5% off, something like that. And I have not put anything in that bed yet, just filled it up. And then we made a little row right there with the tires and that galvanized bed. And then the next row, you'll see I took my file cabinet drawers and I butted them up against this little carrot bed. And then I just scooted over this blue drum that used to be over here with the kale. Continuing on in this little area, I still have my peppers right here in this little plastic piece of a drum. And then in this little aisle right here, I got, I still have my kale and some broccoli growing there, and my little daddle pepper at the end. But as you can see, there used to be another bed right here, which I have just removed. And I have built 2 more concrete beds. And this is where the biggest change happened over in this back corner. So you will see that I have 2 concrete beds with the blocks that I've built right here. I removed that big concrete bed that was right here and used those blocks to make these. And then in this back corner that I've been telling you since last year I was going to redo, that I never touched last year, I have built this entire big J-shaped bed, and I did it out of 2.5 sheets of tin and 4 pieces of scrap metal that I had, and some scrap metal posts. So what I did is I had my husband rip 2.5 pieces down, or 2 pieces down, and I got the back, ripped those in half, and then I took the other piece that I had and I ripped it 3 times, and I got this bottom piece, and that's just literally 2.5 pieces of tin from Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever we got it from. And I just ripped it several times and got all the pieces, and then I just went on the ends and put the pieces of metal there, and then I did the top layer. I put in this metal that we keep on hand, that is just scrap. So this tin we had left over from when we built our chicken tractors. So it was laying around, so I bought nothing to build this enormous bed, and I don't even know the dimensions of it, but it is huge. And then it goes around to the back. It's about 2 feet wide on the sides, and in the back it is 30 inches deep. And I'm still in the process of filling it up with my layering system with the wood and the leaves and the dirt. And this is just dirt that was already back here. And down the center, I have purchased these 2 galvanized beds from Amazon. And both of these are a set. One of them is 3x5 and one of them is 3x7. And both of them together were like $98 with free shipping. And out of all the beds that I bought, these are the most heavy duty and have the most heavy duty hardware with them. So they're the sturdiest. And both of the beds came with a set, and they were $98 for both. So just want to give you a look from this angle back in this corner what everything looks like. 2 new beds right here. One of them is a little bit shallower. This one's a little bit deeper. I am leaving that wide walkway right there. I plan on leaving all this extra space that I have back here open so that I can have room to place my chairs in here and sit down. That's my supply table. Back behind that chair is all my little trellises and everything. There is the persimmon tree in that orange pot. It used to be right there, and it's been there for years and did nothing. So I decided to keep it in a pot, and then in the spring transplant it to the front yard to see if we can get something going with it. So that is this side of the garden. And then we want to move to the center of the garden. We'll start from the back. Back here you can see I built these, their extra cinder blocks, and built up this bed another layer. So I just need to straighten those out and finish filling up the beds. These beds down the center are still empty, and then we'll focus on this area. So this used to be 2 little cinder block beds, and now I have 2 of these aluminum beds. This is a 4x6 or a 5 or a 4x3 or a 3x5. I think it's a 3x5 or a 3x6. And then this is another 2x3. This actually came just like that other galvanized one that I have over there that I showed you, but I just spray painted it pink on the outside and then the upper edge just for a bright pop of color. And then here I have that other bed that I just have it filled up and covered up so that it won't have weeds till I get ready to plant it. 2 of my pepper planters. And then this other 4x6 or 3, but no, I'm sorry, this is a 3x6 bed. And then I have my carrots and my greens growing here still haven't did anything with this bed. It's still got the beans or the butter peas growing in it. This bed stayed the same, just everything got a little bigger. This is cabbages and broccolis. And here got a few peas and these tires up front. And then back here, big changes. I took out the 2 beds that I had, the 2 long that had, basically I had 1 big long bed right there and then 2 little bump outs. And these are 3 by 5.5 feet beds. They're a foot tall. They're basically almost the same as the others. They do have extra supports on them, but I haven't put anything in them, just filled them up. And they were shallower than what the bed was that was here. So I just left my bump outs there and just extended them back to the bed, so my bump outs are a little longer now. So that's another 2 of the beds from Amazon, and those were $50 each for those 5.5 by 3s. And then over here I have my turnips, nothing growing in that yet. And then over here on the side of the garden is pretty much the same. Cilantro, beets, onions, radishes. So here we just have my little asparagus bed to the left. And then my old beds that I have, this 4x8 has broccoli, Waltham broccoli growing in it, which wasn't doing pretty much anything. I didn't feel like my garden was getting too much water. I had to tone down my watering system from summer, and I just side dressed all this broccoli over here and spinach with some hand manure, so hopefully they'll start doing something. This area right here is one that I'm going to be redoing. It's going to be my next project. I'm ordering 2 more beds from Amazon. They're going to look like a doorstep. They're going to be a 4x4 footprint, but they'll have 3 different levels of beds. And I'll be putting one here and down on the end, where I'll show you in just a second. This bed still has peppers and basil growing in it. Nothing new happening here. And then this bed just has some peppers. And then these rainbow carrots that I had seeded the other day. Some peas and radishes here. And then I'll just kind of give you a little overview of what the garden looks like from this corner, or this side of the garden. There's my little shelf that I keep all my tools on. I've been working out here. It's filled up right now because I've been doing all kinds of work. And then in these little 2 rows right here, I don't have anything growing in them yet. Still cleaning them out. And then nothing growing back here. I'm going to be cutting a lot of these seed heads for these marigolds and replanting them. I do have a lot of volunteers. And then this is how my tomatoes are looking. Still no freezes for the tomatoes and no freeze in sight. And then that's how that side of the garden looks from over here. So that bed that I built out of 10, it's like a giant J shape. And then, like I said, these 3 little beds that I have in a row right here, still covered up, nothing going on. My blackberries are growing crazy. I just picked some more blackberries off of them. And there's 2 main vines, a Freedom and a Arapaho, that are going crazy. And then my little raspberry hasn't done anything. So there was 3 blueberries. Now there's only 2 left that are living. I've decided to pull those out and keep those into pots, and maybe plant them into my new little doorstep containers that I'm going to get. And then get another couple blackberries for that area. So right here is the area where I'm going to put another one of those doorstep level planters. It's going to be a 4x4 footprint and have the multi-layers. So not much going on there. And that pretty much concludes the whole entire garden for all the work that I've done so far. And I want to go through here and count and see how many beds that I have. But I haven't been sowing anything or planting anything these last couple weeks. I've just been working on getting the garden to where it is right now, to where in January I'm going to be in the greenhouse filling it up with seeds, and doing all that. So I wanted to get the garden as prepared as I could for when we get seeds ready to go in the ground. We got ground to put them in. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.